Good afternoon, everybody on YouTube. This is Rick Thomas from Obsolete Video Services. Today, we're going to talk about the phone calls, the emails I get. When people see my videos, they're like, hey, do you have three-quarter Umatic machines sitting around that you want to sell? Or Betacam SPs that you want to sell? Or that type of thing. I wish I did. Unfortunately, like I said, people send me this stuff so I can fix it for them and repair it, and that's the type of thing it is. I don't usually have a lot of extra video decks laying around, but in this particular situation, I had a gentleman call me from a production house. This particular three-quarter Umatic machine I got virtually for nothing, and I'm going to end up servicing it in the next day or two. And I just wanted to point this out. And this guy happened to call me at the right time because he was in need of one. So this type of situation is, do you have one available that I can buy from you? In this particular situation, it worked out good for this guy. I do not always have machines laying around unless I get people who donate video equipment to me, three-quarter Umatic machines, Betacam SPs that I have sitting here that I could service for customers that are needing them. I just want to answer that question out there. I do get a lot of phone calls, a lot of people asking, do you have video equipment for sale? In most situations, no, I don't. But in some situations, such as this, I happened to get this deck for nothing, and I had it sitting here, and I was just getting ready to service the deck when the guy called me up looking to buy one, and he needed one right away because he had like 500 tapes or something he had to transfer. So here's a Sony VO7600 I'm going to be servicing in the next day or two. I'm waiting on some parts. I notice sometimes when I get these machines, like stickers and things, like where it came from. This came from the Space Center. I think this came from the Houston Space Center and something like that. It says the Virginia Airspace Center. So this apparently was in their inventory at some point that they were using in the 80s and 90s. And somehow this person that I got it off of must have bought it on eBay or something like that. And then when he bought it off eBay, he had it sitting around, and virtually I didn't pay hardly anything for this machine. I mean, it's a good machine. It just doesn't work. And he says he had no use for it. He said if I wanted it, I could have it. I was just going to service it and use it for myself, but I happen to have this customer who did call who really needed a three-quarter Umatic, and he didn't want to be paying all those high prices on eBay because none of those decks work, and I don't blame him. eBay is getting crazy. They're selling these video decks, three-quarter Umatics and Betacam SPs for crazy prices. And then once you get them, they don't work and they need to be serviced. So I just want to point that out to you guys. I only sell decks if I happen to have them available. Sometimes I get decks people give to me as donations or whatever, and I might have an extra one laying around. But in this particular situation, I was lucky. The guy was desperate for a three-quarter Umatic machine. He needed one that is in working condition for 500 tapes he's doing out of a university in New York City, I think. So hope that answers your question about, do I have video machines available to be for sale? Not always. Just sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Hope this answered your questions.